let's fill our cups. Commander decks in hand, the battle's about to start. A podcast for the legend, where magic meets the heart. Commander Pod, where the stories unfold, with heroes and villains, new and old. Dungeon Jeff and Paul got the word, in the world of EDH we play.
Hello everyone, welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your Podfather Duncan.
I'm Sloan.
And I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to talk about what is wrong with EDH. What are there's a bunch of it.
Good grief.
It depends who you ask. But what's wrong, and furthermore, how do we fix it? So that's our main topic. We're going to have some Tales from the Table. Of course, Aggro Jeff will make an appearance. And some pro tips.
Yep.
So, Aggro Jeff, what's aggravating you?
Well, I think this is a warning, too. So when you buy sleeves for your cards, when you start getting a bunch of decks, you tend to be like, okay, I don't have that color. Let me buy this new color. So all your decks end up having different colored sleeves, which kind of is good because if you're ever someone's playing the same deck as you and you like steal a card from them, you know it's not the right card goes in the right deck, right? But at the same time, eventually what happens is those sleeves break down, a couple of them. Like a couple of them will get bent or something will happen, and you just want to replace a couple of them that are ruined. And one, you didn't keep all the colored sleeves separate. You like put them somewhere, and now you got to go and find them all. And if you don't do that, you got to go buy new sleeves that match the color you got, but there's like 100 different colors. So it's really
was this
hard.
sapphire? Was this blue?
Yeah.
Was this indigo? Was
it matte? Was it glossy? Was it shiny?
And now they have the new one. What is it called? Like, I can't remember. There's a new one too.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Dragon Shield just came out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it either.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm aggravated at the fact that there's so many colors. The answer is yes. Or aggravated that you don't know you're going to have so many colors. Yes. And also aggravated that I didn't have a plan to start with. So what I would encourage you guys is have a plan to start with and maybe just try to stick to 5 or 6 colors.
Some of us do have a plan. I have the biggest collection of everything. The sleeves, the cards, all of it. Mm-hmm. And what happened when you needed a couple sleeves?
Oh, I called you, but not everybody has a you.
Right. But I based on merely a picture on a phone, I matched up the color and brought them in 2 sleeves.
Yeah, which was very helpful. So I guess if you don't want to be too aggravated, have a Duncan. But I was aggravated I had to call Duncan.
Well, I'm saying just be organized. Keep all your loose sleeves together.
I know, but you run out of them eventually. You do.
I just did because I gave my 2 to you.
Yeah, because
exactly. So
Dragon Shield, what they'll do is they'll say 100 count sleeve box, and there's actually 105 in there. Is what they do.
So you have extras for the
first 103. Yeah.
Sometimes it's 102. One box I actually saw had 99.
Yeah, that sucks.
Which, if you're not playing EDH, that's rough.
Yeah. Or if you're not playing EDH, you're only playing a 60 card anyway, so you always have 30 extra.
Yeah, you got bamboozled. But anyways, have a plan, whatever that plan is.
I mean, we got to start keeping track. That was about magic, about legitimate magic.
I think that's 3 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, you're not counting the one about
I don't want to go.
Magic,
I don't want to go over 5, so that really limits.
Well, I mean, you're on pace to go to 4, if that.
Yeah. Okay, well, good.
You're all right.
As long as we're under 5.
So Tales from the Table. So I had a couple. So one of them, very quick. We roll 2d6 to go first. That's how we do it at our shop and amongst ourselves. And we came up with this rule where Snake Eyes beats boxcars, right?
Right.
So
stupid rule, but whatever.
I don't think it's stupid. It makes 2 matter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if somebody rolls 2, it doesn't. They have no chance.
Exactly.
Even if you roll 4,
don't matter. Be better. Roll something better than 2.
Even if you roll a 4, at least you know that there are 3 numbers that you're going to beat.
There's 2 numbers that you'll beat: a 3 and a 2.
And a 1. Well, you can't roll 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if 1 die goes off the table. But yeah, 2 numbers. But still,
that's how dice works,
so you're saying there's a chance. But with the 2, there's absolutely no chance, except for this rule.
Yeah. No.
So, but regardless.
You being bad shouldn't take over me being good. That's not how that should offset.
But it also makes it so a 12 isn't guaranteed. If somebody rolls a 12%.
It should be guaranteed. They roll a 12.
Well, it's not. Not in our group. But anyway, so we rolled off. I rolled first, got a 10. There was 4 of us at the table. Nobody beat a 10. But Bryce had been standing on the end of the table, and he had just gone and gotten food and was kind of eating it there. And so I go, okay, I go first. He goes, whoa, I'm not playing? I go, you're not set up. You don't have a mat. You don't have
But
your
he
card
doesn't
out.
use a mat.
Well, that's true too. But he didn't have a deck out. None of his stuff was ready. He goes, oh no, I want to play. So then he goes and gets all his stuff. We're all waiting. And then he rolls a 10. I'm like, you jerk. And so I roll snake eyes, and he's like, ha, 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 ha. He rolls 12.
See? Amazing.
So who got the final laugh?
I mean,
Well, who won the game? That's who got the final laugh.
I don't remember.
Yeah. it wasn't
me.
So yeah,
So
that
it didn't
doesn't
matter.
It wasn't him that got the final laugh.
Okay, and then the other one.
Wait, or do we get the final laugh? Because we're laughing at him for
Yeah.
losing.
Well, I
he
mean-
won an insignificant win on the dice and lost at the thing that matters.
Yeah.
But I got to laugh at the person who laughed at me. Anyway,
And then we got to laugh at both of you.
well, you're all gonna got to laugh at me for this one.
Okay, good.
So
We were probably going to
I
laugh
built-
at you anyways, but go ahead.
I built a new X spell deck. It's the one where you make hydras for your X spells.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zaxara, the one I have.
Yeah.
But I built mine correctly.
So, but I've had the deck like kind of together, but not like put together. But I had all the cards. I was waiting on somebody else to bring me the commander. We were going to do a trade. They forgot last week, so I had to wait a whole week. Finally, this week they had it, but I went really late. Like I didn't come to the shop till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were having a marvelous dinner
That was really
with
good.
our wives.
Yeah. Yep, that was really good.
I wasn't.
No, you wouldn't have liked it anyway because it was expensive, but it was good. So I went to the shop really late. I went at 10. I'm like, I'll just play a few games, and I wanted to play this Hydra deck. So I figured while they're finishing their game, when I got there, I can finish putting it together, which is
Right.
what I did. And just as they're finishing up, I ran over, grabbed. I didn't bring my lands. I realized. So I ran over, grabbed the lands I needed. I had a few, but I didn't have them all. Put it all in sleeves, shuffle it up, and I can't get it to run. We've talked about this before. Sometimes you just can't get a deck to run on
Right.
certain nights. And I could not find black mana. I'm like, what the heck? Now, I did have one hand that is not a keepable hand. It only had 2 lands, but it had all the pieces I needed. This was like the second or third game. It had my sack outlets that I want to use. It had mana rocks, but it only had 2 lands, and it was still missing black. I kept missing black, and I almost kept it, and I'm like, no, I'm going to put it back. But I look at the top 3 cards, and it would have worked out perfectly. There were 2 lands in those top 3. One of them was black.
Yeah.
It would have been everything I needed. But anyway, I threw it back. I couldn't get it to run all night. I'm driving home, and it hits me. When you went and got lands, dummy, you got islands and forests. You got no swamps. I had 2 because
could be
they were
a
the
problem.
foil Edge of Eternities that I had with the lands that I had.
Right.
And apparently in my head, somewhere back there, it said, that's enough. You don't need more than 2 slots. I literally was not trying to do that. I don't know what I was thinking. I was hurrying, trying to do it too fast, and I only grabbed 2 colors worth of lands. I filled out my deck, but I'm saying, so I'll try again next week. But yeah, so stupid me. I call that my dough moment. Homer. So EDH problems, and we're not just going to complain. We're going to say how to fix them.
Right.
And I'm not talking about how Magic can fix them because we can't control Magic.
I
But
don't even know if some of these things are actually problems, to be fair.
So one of them in particular, I don't think is, but it is something people complain about.
Sure.
So there's quite a few here, and I kind of broke it down. So the product and business side, first one, product fatigue. Too many releases, secret layers, universes beyond drops, and supplemental sets. Players can't keep up.
Yeah.
I think that's a legitimate problem.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Didn't they cut back some this year, though?
Yeah, but it's still too many. They had, 8 this year?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't even have the desire to buy a bunch of them.
It wasn't even this year. It wasn't really the sets that did it. It's the secret layers.
Yeah.
That's, for me, it's
They had
insane how many
two
they
regular
have.
Magic sets, and the rest were secret layers. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
There's more secret layers than regular sets.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not counting the remastered sets. I'm counting.
Yeah.
So, that's it is too much. My answer is don't try to buy everything. Like, I think people are kind of following that.
That's your answer.
That's my but I'm saying
But you do buy everything.
I do. I'm saying I'm not the one complaining about it. But I do think it's a problem. And I think people are kind of doing that. I think a lot of people held back on Spider-Man.
That's what I do. I didn't buy Spider-Man.
Yeah, I bought Spider-Man. I thought it was pretty good. I even thought about buying more because it is available because people aren't buying it.
Have I bought any set this year?
You haven't bought any
What-
boxes.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
You
think
did,
I did.
you did buy Spider-Man. You bought a pack.
Yeah, I bought a pack for Johnny, one pack
Right.
for you, and
Yeah.
a pack for me. I mean, that doesn't really count. I just did that
But
because
there are sets you didn't.
you
even
guys
do
were
that
there
for.
and I was being nice.
But there are sets.
It won't happen again.
Yeah, I mean that was once a year too. But there are sets you didn't even buy a pack this year.
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah. So I'm saying of the
But
Spider-Man
some
you've
of them
actually
I bought cards of.
Yeah. Are there sets you didn't even buy cards from?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, but you don't really play Magic. You just talk about
It's not true. Played Magic this weekend. I play Magic a lot now that my kids do.
it. Yeah. Well, you play at home.
Well, no, I played at Daniel's house.
Well,
Swanee's
sure.
house.
We're not going to get into that.
Shout out to Swanee.
But anyway, that would be my answer. Don't try to buy everything. Pick and choose, and it's going to reflect in their sales.
Yeah,
and then
folks,
they're going
do
to be
what
like,
he says, not what he does.
Yeah. If it doesn't bother you, buy what you want.
yeah.
But if it does bother you, don't buy everything. Be picky on the sets you're not as enthralled with. Don't try and buy packs. Get a couple of the cards you like.
How does that not still hurt product fatigue, though? Because you still have the people out there like, I want to buy. I want to be a part of it. I'm not getting to be a part of it because it's too much. I can't possibly keep up with this. It's sort of like back in the day I used to play Destiny, which is a video game. And it was like people would play all day long, and I'd come home from work and I'd be trying to catch up with everything they did, and it became impossible. It was like you could just be like, just don't do all that stuff, but then you're not keeping up with them either. So then
Yeah,
you're
but-
like,
but-
well, I don't want to
but
play
that's
this.
It's not the same in Magic.
I mean,
you
it's a
can-
little bit the same.
No, it's not.
And
You
that-
don't need the new set to make your deck run.
That's true, but you might need some of the cards.
Right.
from
I mean,
new
the
set
difference
to keep up.
between a video game and Magic is a video game is there are updates where they on a weekly basis where they change and upgrade the abilities of classes and weapons and
Yeah,
vehicles.
you can only get this
And-
weapon until this date.
Yeah, and then
That's true.
There's a lot more niche stuff with video games where you have to be playing it daily and weekly to really stay on top of it. To Duncan's point, you have 15 fully built decks that run. You
I have
don't
like
need
22.
to. Yeah, you have 22 fully built decks that run. You could never buy another Magic card, and you still have
And
22
Jeff,
decks.
you are the
that
guy
run.
who's doing this.
I know.
You're not buying everything. Is that hurting you when you play with other people?
No, but I feel it. I'm like, oh my
It's
gosh,
FOMO.
there's another deck.
All it is FOMO.
It is FOMO. So
And
you're
just-
giving people permission to not feel that, but I'm also just pointing out they're still going to feel it.
Well, you have to train yourself not to.
Yes, discipline.
Yeah, you have to realize you're not really missing out. And if 2 months down the road you're like, nope, I'm getting smoked because I don't have this one card I could have gotten, then go get that one card.
Yeah, buy singles. That's
Yeah.
another answer to this. Product fatigue, just buy singles.
Yeah. Don't try and keep up. Don't try and buy everything. Be picky. The ones you really like, buy, and the ones you're like, meh. Now, if the problem is if you're like, well, I really like everything. I really like Spider-Man. I really like Avatar. I really like Final Fantasy. I really like the racing thing. I really like. That's a problem you're gonna have to deal with in and of yourself.
I mean, that's something
I
we
mean,
can't
I
help.
think you need to really look inside yourself. It's like, do I really love all these things
Yeah,
equally?
think about it. Really like retirement, folks. Like, really start to like retiring in your elderly age with money if
Yeah.
you're having to buy.
Well, I mean, everybody can retire. It's the money part.
yeah, yeah.
You could just decide to retire. No, but I would say, like, for instance, Spider-Man is a good set to skip. Even though I really like it, there's nothing in it anybody has to have.
Yeah, there's nothing in it, again, that's groundbreaking or
Speaking as someone who skipped every set, I think it's safe to skip every set. And also, you did too, Johnny. Have you bought any?
No, I mean, I didn't really
You bought some
focus on
Final
buying.
Fantasy,
Well, I
didn't
didn't buy any boxes.
No.
My box purchasing is very, very limited. I unfortunately don't have the expendable income of money just falling out of my pores and needing somewhere to go. So I can't just buy any set I want
That'd
to all
be
the time.
disgusting money if it just came out of your pores.
I mean,
I'd be
But
happy if
you're buying things. You're giving it to somebody else. It's not your problem.
Yeah,
That's true.
So, but with that being said, usually I don't buy boxes willy-nilly here and there. I usually try to save up. So Avatar is the one I really want to get a box for. So that's what I've been saving towards and getting ready to purchase. I've bought packs and stuff from every set that came out this year, but it wasn't to kind of pull the veil away from the curtain a little bit, one of our friends bought over $3,000 worth of Final Fantasy product.
Yeah, but he got way more than that.
Well, he got a lot of money.
If he sells it.
He sold some of it, but
he
then
did?
he also, now this, on sealed product, he spent over $3,000. That's not including the $2,700 he spent on one card. That was a limited print of only 126. That is technically the most rare card outside of the Golden Chocobo.
Right, but doesn't he also have a golden chocobo? One of the
No,
neon
he has a
ones or
neon chocobo.
Yeah.
Yeah, which he's been trying to sell it, and he's still sitting on it because it keeps going up and down. So he.
Oh, he has been trying to sell. I thought he was going to keep it.
No, he's holding on to it and watching prices and stuff like that. And he had it posted for a little bit, and people were trying to only get it for like $900 or $1,000. He's like, no, I'm not going to take less than this. And so, but I mean, he's definitely. He got the value out of the boxes and stuff like that, but yeah, I mean,
But that was his set, and
right.
Reminder: he dabbled in Magic.
Correct. He never really.
But he wasn't a guy.
In
who was
more
gonna go buy a
recent
box.
years, he hasn't paid attention to Magic in the last 10+ years.
Yeah.
Like, so if there was anything he was going to spend his money on, it was this. And
Right.
so when they announced the reprint coming Christmas, he's like, yeah, I'm probably getting ready to spend a bunch more money again because he wants all the Final Fantasy stuff. So, but again, that's to show you that that's someone that really cared about one thing, and so that's what he spent all his money on. He built all of his commander decks out of only the Final Fantasy stuff because that's what he loves. He got other cards to little singles and stuff needed to help build the deck, but for the most part, all the commanders are Final Fantasy commanders, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's for me personally, the fatigue. I feel it in the sense of just
Trying to keep up with it.
With the, not even like keeping up with like purchasing the newer cards to add them to my collection, more of just keeping up with all of the things I have to keep learning from all these sets.
Which we're getting to that. That's
right,
another
which
thing.
we'll get to in the next thing.
But the other thing that about this is, last year I did hit fatigue, and I was like, I am not buying everything. There were 12 sets, 12 months, 12 sets. Nope.
Yeah.
I was selective then. I didn't buy some of it, and I don't regret it.
Yeah.
Commander decks, when they had all those commander decks. Even if I bought some of the set, I didn't necessarily buy the commander decks. I like building more anyway, so that's why I stopped buying every commander deck. Last year, this year it wasn't so bad for me, so I bought them. So it's your own personal. If it's too much, don't buy them. Pick and choose.
Yeah.
The next one is price creep. Rising prices for precons, booster packs, booster boxes, singles. It feels less accessible to new players.
Yes.
For sure.
So Jeff kind of said it, buy singles. You know what I mean? Now you can't help if the singles are through the roof.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Sometimes you're going to have to let it go.
Yeah. And I mean, we touched on that a couple weeks ago when we were talking about how there's some art versions of the cards that are the most basic art version that are $50, and then the special art version's $100. There's gotta be a way to get that card for less than $50 in the most basic form. And I know we already discussed this and kind of beat the dead horse, as it were. So we're not going to go over it again. But in my opinion, yes, you should be able to buy singles of cards for less than it costs for an entire box. Like,
right.
That shouldn't. Right. I shouldn't have to spend $500 on one card. Right. That shouldn't be a thing.
I mean, right now the Soul Stone is going up and down. Even the base model, though.
Yeah.
On pre-release night, it was like at $55, but it's gone up again.
Yeah, it's like $70 now.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not worth $70.
No, I don't know how rare it is. I didn't get it in my box.
Gameplay wise, it's not worth $70 gameplay wise.
No, it's not. Just let it go. They want it because it's the Soul Stone and it's Marvel. But the other thing I would say is split boxes. If you and your buddy,
if you want to have a fight with your friend, split boxes.
No, you don't have a fight.
Could you imagine? Like they get the really awesome mythic, and
so
you
the
get
only
screwed?
thing,
Yeah, I can because I've literally done that before. And now again, for me, the big thing is I'm a good person, so I'm happy for them that they got a good pool. I'm not someone that's going to be resentful and
you
want to
have
throat punch
to have agreements in hand. The only thing I can see being an argument possibly is who gets the buy a box promo. Make that person pay $5 more or something.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, too, is I would say, like, for example, if you're going, let's say, and again, hypothetically, you're going after the chase card for Final Fantasy, the Golden Chocobo, right? If you guys are like, hey, listen, let's split a collector's box. If we pull a Golden Chocobo, let's just agree, if we sell it, we're going to split if we sell it. Because if one person pulls that and the other person doesn't, and you both put $500 in for a collector's box, I feel like that's a little bit of a crappy situation.
Well, you have to do several things. First of all, you have to split it up however the money works out.
You better get that in writing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, whoever has a receipt for that box, that golden chocobo is there.
And, if that's how your friends act, you need better friends. Because I don't think any of my friends, if I did that with them, would do that to me.
You got to be careful with friends, family, all that stuff.
Oh, I wouldn't trust my family at all.
Just
I have friends I would trust over.
Write it down.
Right, but I'm just saying you have to have friends you trust to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just have it all agreed on ahead of time. Hey, we're going to split up the packs. We'll each pick the packs we want, break them up however the money works out, and that's it. Or you say, hey, I just want this one card. I'll give up all my packs. If somebody pulls this, you can have everything else.
Right.
Maybe they'll agree to that. But work it out amongst you. But if you all split a box, you're still getting a bulk of cards, and you're still getting to participate. The other thing I would say, get the bundles. Bundles are a limited number of packs at a reasonable price, fairly. Mm-hmm. If you used to get a box and now you're like prices are creeping up, get a bundle or two.
The other thing on price creep is so this is sort of like Black Friday shopping. If you are worried about price creep and it's pricing you out, you have to be smart. So you have to buy at the right time. You're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to know when those cards, if you're doing singles, you got to know when the best time to buy the single is, because you could lose a lot if you buy it before pre-release. You're going to pay way more. But sometimes after pre-release, you'll pay more, and then sometimes way after, you'll pay less or more. It depends. You have to study it. And then, too, even when you buy boxes, you have to study it. Who are you buying from? Where's the best deal? How early do you need to pre-purchase it? Like, all those are things you need to think about, and you need to make decisions before you go in on what you're willing to spend. So if price is an issue for you, you got to put some more research into it to get the best deal.
Well, and to that point, the best time to buy is pre-order. When you wait until the day of release to get it, you are now already probably paying a higher rate. Yeah,
but it's also where you got to kind of, if it's going to be really expensive, you got to get it the way front of pre-order.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
I mean, I don't know your shop. If your shop does not like ours does try to stick to MSRP. If your shop doesn't and go with whatever market price is, there are online shops that sell at MSRP or at least close to it. Now they have, like Final Fantasy, some of them weren't as good as others, but I've used Stomping Grounds before for that very reason, because they tend to stick to MSRP. And the other one is Card Shop Live. Those two, I don't get anything from them. I'm not promoting them. I'm not telling you to go there, but I'm saying their prices tend to be a little more fair.
Don't write us if you have a bad experience.
Yeah, it's at your own risk, but I'm just saying, they've been a little more fair at least. So that can help you too. But, shop around if the prices are creeping. But you can also buy smaller packs.
Yeah. I mean, and then the last thing, which Jeff has touched on before, is we as consumers have to let them know this isn't okay. Like, we can't keep buying collector's boxes at over $1,000. Like, we can't.
Yep.
We got to stop doing it. And I know you guys are going to say, well, then I won't get it and someone else is going to get the one that I should have gotten. I get it. It's hard. It's frustrating because you want that collector's box. You want the stuff that's in it. You want your chance to get your chase cards. I get it. But if we keep, as consumers, keep buying it at that price, there's no reason for them to think that they're doing anything wrong.
So my hope is, because of Spider-Man, Avatar prices might come down.
That would be great.
Because
that would make me happy.
Because the problem is that one time Spider-Man collector boxes were selling for $800 or $900.
Right. Mm-hmm.
There is not the value in those boxes to support that number.
Right.
No,
not
and that's been proven
not
by
even close.
multiple box openings.
Yes.
Like, people are getting blown up.
Now, at retail value, I do think it is possible to get it. You're not guaranteed.
Man, even at retail value, I saw some people that did the box openings and they got destroyed.
Well, I saw some of them too, but they're not counting all their rares. They're not putting up the $1 and $5 cards.
Yeah, but
when I did the pack opening, which I just put up yesterday for the collector box, I counted all the rares. I counted all the rares.
Yeah.
And I almost got to value. Like, it was $430 and value was $480.
Yeah, but
that's only because I counted all the rares, and two of them were under $1, but everything else was $1 and up.
If you haven't seen that yet, by the way, Thank you for doing that. You make it. It's not me that can't open packs. The packs are hard to
Yeah,
open.
they really
I don't
are.
understand why collector packs are so hard to open. I have zero.
But I had a
issues with
couple. It's like they just go and they open.
Right, yeah, but like the majority of them, you're like sitting there and like you're struggling to find words to fill because you're like, I can't. This is not open.
So let me talk about my cat. You know?
So I just wanted to point that
Amazing.
out. It was a funny video. It was good. Duncan did a great job, though. Yes, I was under the weather, unfortunately, so I didn't get to do it. But anyways, I just wanted to point that out.
Anyway, so, there are some things you can do, but, I mean, the bottom line, too, is don't try to buy everything. I mean, I think that's going to be a common
I feel
theme.
like that's the same answer for this next one, too, though.
Well, yeah, so I have an even stronger answer for this one. Secret layer scalping and distribution issues, buying experience is broken. Bots, resellers, delays, shipping issues. So first of all, secret layer, we're getting very, very close to where we're just going to have to point blank boycott secret layer. I've said it before. I'm feeling more strongly about it. The Spider-Man secret layers were awful value.
Yeah.
If the reprint value
And
of
there
those
was, what,
cards,
5 of them?
6.
6 of them.
And the reprint value of those, the best one I think was half of what you're paying as far as if you bought the same cards but the other versions.
Yeah, the regular
versions.
That's crazy.
Half the value. It's insane.
I didn't buy any.
Now I am going to buy the Extra Life secret layer. It's the Play-Doh one. It's for charity. 50% of the proceeds go to charity. Mm-hmm. The value is really close. It's within 10% of what you're paying. And B, it's for a good cause. And C, I think it's cool, the Play-Doh. But after that, we're going to see what happens.
I'm worried about the Avatar secret layer.
Oh, it's going to be insane.
Oh, I'm so worried.
The other thing I'm going to worry about is if they do a Star Wars or Star Trek and it's only available in secret layer, it's not a full set.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what we say here. If it's Star Trek
But we
or
really
Star
got
Wars,
to
I'm probably buying
get towards the point where we're going to have to, as a group of players, not just us at this table.
But to be clear, what I'm saying on that is not that I'm buying any set. There are certain sets that are going to be like, those are like your sets.
Yeah.
Like the friend you just talked about who bought the Final Fantasy, that was his set. On those certain sets, like, look, you're gonna buy them, okay? We're gonna buy them, but I'm not buying a lot of the other sets, even though I kind of like there were some Spider-Man cards I kind of wanted. I thought I almost bought them, but I was like, it's going to encourage. What were the ones where it looked like comic book art in the Spider-Man? That one had a really low value.
Oh, the total value was under $10.
Yeah, but the cards looked awesome.
Yeah,
so I was like,
because it looked like the Daily Bugle.
yeah, it looked
Right.
like, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this because it just looks really cool. But then when I thought about it, it's like it encourages Wizards to continue to do this, and they could have done that same treatment on valuable cards and actually given their consumer something worthwhile, and they didn't. And I think I'm not going to support that, so I didn't buy it.
Right. The other part of this though is distribution issues, and I've talked about this. Our store only got 8 collector boxes. That is ridiculous.
That's laughable.
They could have sold 36. They could have sold 50. They could have pre-sold that many and just had no problems, and they got 8.
Yeah, and I will say that I don't understand what is going on with that because our store is pretty consistently full. Every pre-release event, one of the 2 nights is pretty much packed out. They usually have at least 30 plus people showing up for one of the nights. Like in the second night, I think they had 10 people or 12 people show up, so they had over 40 people.
They had
50 people.
They had 40 people the first night,
Yeah.
and that was their lowest turnout in the
while.
past 6
I don't
sets.
think it's
Yeah.
difficult to understand. Wizards is saying this is how much we're going to print.
No,
And
that's
It's not that though.
because
I
they're
don't even get to
available.
finish my sentence. What?
But that opening statement's false. Wizards is printing enough. The distributors.
Yeah, but you
are-
didn't let me finish my
Okay.
sentence.
All right, go on.
Wizards is setting a limit on how much they're printing. And then within that, the distributors are saying who they're going to give the product to. And they're giving the product to the people who give them the most money. The only way to resolve it is to say that we're going to require that so much product go to the stores instead of these giant companies. And I just don't know if the corporation is willing to do that. I wish they would. I wish they would understand the value of the local store to their economy and to their business. But I don't know if they're going to.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, when you say Wizards is limited printing, what do you mean? Are they going from
So-
10,000 units to 9,999 units?
we jumped on him
Because-
too soon. He wasn't saying that was why there's a shortage. Remember a couple of years ago they found all the Magic cards in the landfill
Right.
because they were just printing and printing and printing and printing when they started a set. They would just print like pallets worth, and then the distributors didn't want it all. They're like, that. I can't get rid of all that. So they've limited it since then. They've cut back from those days.
Correct.
But that's see the verbiage is poor to me. It's not that they're limiting the printing. They've gotten the printing amount more in line with what it should have been originally, because they're not limiting it to where they're saying, no, we're intentionally underprinting cards.
My only point was there's a limited supply, and that
Sure.
supply is not being divvied out in a way that respects or supports the local store. It's being
Yes.
divvied out simply on a financial who does most business with me type of thing. We believe.
Right.
We're guessing on some of this stuff based on honestly very small amount of information.
I will say
but they
to-
seem like fairly educated guesses.
Wizards is trying to fix this. They are reprinting things. They're reprinting Final Fantasy. They're reprinting Dragons of Tarkir. They're reprinting Foundations.
Which I
to
get
get
that,
it
but how
back
much
out.
is that going to suck? Like, honestly, how much is that going to suck for the people that, like, I went ahead and bought a box because I wanted it. I ran after that card. When they reprint this, if all the prices of those cards drop, I do kind of feel for some of the random people that, like, did buy the $1,200 card.
Well,
and now it's going to be worth $400.
If depending on how they reprint it, my point to that would be is if they limit the number, because the cards that were really valuable there were the Surge Foil alternate art cards. Those were the ones that were all the money were in. If you got one of those, like, I think the cheapest one is still like $300 and something, and that's the cheapest one of the Surge Foils. If it helps bring down the value of some of the other cards that they're just expensive because there, quote unquote, isn't enough of the base art version of them out there, I don't feel bad about that. But, you know, I don't foresee them printing so much that it makes the super high expensive Surge Foil cards value nothing.
To my knowledge, they are not reprinting collector booster boxes.
Right. So they're not going to have any of the Surge Foils.
Right. They're not going to have those super
That can help,
expensive.
but I mean, it does. You have to kind of be smarter than these corporations sometimes. It opens up a weird door, right? So the corporation goes, they say, okay, well, we're going to help the people. So we're going to reprint this set that just sold and made us a ton of money, and we're going to reprint it again. So we got the rush of everybody running after this chase set. We made all the money off of it. Now we're just going to do it again. So now every time you buy a set, you have to ask the question, are they just going to reprint this again right away? Because right now when you buy a set, you're going, this is being reprinted now. I don't have to worry about this again until they come back to that plane many years later, right?
Using your logic, no. They won't reprint the valuable stuff that I'm trying to get. So I should still go after the collector boxes because, like Duncan just said, they're not redoing any of the collector boxes.
That's not the only valuable stuff. Lots of people buy regular boxes to go after
But we just talked
Right,
about
but-
the beginning of this, that it's not fair that you can't afford a card in a set because the base model is worth as much as a box.
I get it, but I think we're getting tricked. You're tricked. Do you remember when Elon Musk said, hey guys, just want to put a poll out there. I wonder, you guys are all talking about me not paying taxes. What if I go ahead and sell a bunch of my stock so I can pay taxes? And everybody was like, oh yeah, that's so good. He wants to pay taxes. And even though, you know, you may or may not like Elon Musk, I'm not getting into all that. He got to go and sell his stock, which made everybody happy, which normally doesn't make people happy. My point is they may be doing that. Someone sitting in the back room somewhere said, oh guys, look what we can do now. We can resell a set we just made that sold really well right away and make money off of it again. It's a cash cow. Why don't we do that?
Well, I mean-
and we're all like, yes, please do that. And then they do it, and then we're going to be like, wait a second, what were we happy about? This might have been a bad thing for us.
It didn't hurt Foundations when they reprinted it. I don't
Because
think
no
it's
one
gonna-
cared about Foundation.
But the
That's
other,
not true.
but-
Anyway.
But again, all the money that you're referring to with Final Fantasy was in the collector boxes. None of that stuff's
Yeah,
being
play
reprinted.
booster box.
The play boosters weren't selling out?
They were
They were selling out,
$130.
but they're $130
Yeah,
then. They're
$150
$130 now.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my point,
Right,
is
okay.
that the cards that you're referring to, they're still protecting.
I
All
just-
of those Surge Foil special arts are still protected. All of those Neon Chocobos are still protected. All of those are still protected. They're not reprinting any of those.
Unless
so.
they do reprint the...
Yeah,
Unless they do reprint...
we-
I mean, if they decide
know.
at the last minute, hey, we're reprinting the collector
Well, we
booster
don't-
boxes, then yeah, I believe what you're
He's just
saying.
pretty sure
accurate.
they're not doing collector's boosters. He's not 100% sure.
Wizards never tells everybody the whole
Yeah.
story. You never.
So I'm just saying, guys, keep an eye out because I do know enough to go, hey, there's something fishy here.
But-
maybe
but-
it's nothing. Maybe it's something. We'll
right.
see.
Just keep your eye on it, but it's
Yeah.
not. Let's not make a problem out of something that hasn't even happened yet.
Well, that's what else? What's the purpose of the internet then?
Reprint policy confusion is the next one. Some staples never get reprints, while others flood the market. This creates imbalance. So there's two things I'll say about this. One, I think, is a good suggestion. The other one is going to be controversial. The first thing I would say is find bench cards. And what I'm calling bench cards are cards that are almost as good. So they're not the starter, but they can still win games. It's not quite the same thing.
They might cost the mana more, but they do the same thing.
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're cheaper overall.
Right.
You know.
They cost less money and they cost more mana.
Right. But like Sensei's Divining Top, you know.
What a great card.
There's that card, but there's other things you can use that could. Miri's Guile. Miri's Guile is a single green, and it allows you to, at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top 3 cards, put them back in any order.
Yeah.
Pretty
That's
good.
more like a Sylvan Library, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get to draw them all.
Right, yeah.
But you get to.
You can still get manipulate the order, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that's the part of the Sensei's Divine Top that really matters to you, there you go.
And you
But
get
I'm-
the advantage of being the one playing a card no one's heard of, which is
Yeah.
always kind of fun.
Yeah, but I'm saying so that's one method you can go. It's always not going to be quite as good, but you can find cards that do almost the same thing. And the second thing I would say is then proxy. If they're not going to make the cards available to the players, and you're only doing it in your play group, and you're not trying to sell them like they're real or anything, you know, proxy them if your play
Get
group doesn't
proxies that
mind.
you know are proxies. Like,
Yeah.
I see people out there buying proxies that look really, really real. Make sure the back of it,
Says proxy.
because you could accidentally end up with that in the collection. Let's not go into detail on that, but we know of an example of that happening.
Yeah, we've talked about it on here.
Yeah.
You guys have anything more to say about that part of it?
Yeah, so I didn't realize that we were going to do non-wizard solutions. So I have Sloan solutions for section 1 here for wizards. I'm going to hit them real quick. Way less secret layers. Do 1 a quarter.
Oh,
you don't need 75.
I thought you
do
were
1
just
a
going to
quarter.
say be better for all of them.
No. That's just a blanket statement that
Okay,
exists at all times. That's constantly. It's like Batman. It's always there, right? But no. So way less secret layers. Do 1 a quarter. Do 3 precons a year. So four decks. Do it 3 times a year. Once a third. Great. And then way less overall sets per year. 1 per 6 weeks, which would average out to about 8 sets a year.
Even that's a lot.
But again,
That's what we got this year.
But we got that with a bunch of random precons, which were ridiculous. The 2 and then a 5. I don't even want to go over it. And then we got 765 secret layers, I think we're at, or something like that. We still have 2 months to
But the
go.
number of sets, that's what we got this year.
But I'm not upset about the 8 sets. I honestly,
Some people are.
I get that, but 8 is, I feel like, because it's 1 every 6 weeks, that gives you 1 pre-release event every couple of months to go to, and then you can have a commander focus that gives you 1 Universes Beyond. It gives you a fair spread, and I think 1 every 6 weeks is a good. If you want to go down, you could argue 7 sets a year.
Well, okay.
I could argue, but that's just my 3 points for Wizards on that one.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
All right. Well, we can't control them, but there you go. If anybody from Wizards is listening.
There you go.
Format and gameplay side, power creep and commanders. Many new legends are deck in a box engines, reducing the variety of viable brews. I don't think this is a problem. You just keep killing or countering that commander till it costs so much that they can't win.
Yeah, I don't think power creep in Commander specifically. I think there's power creep in Commander.
Yeah. But they're talking. This is talking about that fact that we've talked about this before, that commanders are becoming the whole deck theme.
Yeah, and I actually like power creep in Commander because otherwise I wouldn't have a reason to buy new cards.
Yeah, I mean that's if they didn't do power creep, people wouldn't buy new
Yeah,
cards. I mean
so.
that's just the point of it. Staple dependence. Too many decks feel the same because they all have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. If they're blue, they have Ristic Study. If they're green, they have a ton of those same Ramp, Nature's Lore, and Cultivate, and Kodama's Reach.
3 visits.
I don't
3
agree with
visits.
this either. I don't think.
Well,
it's
of
a
course you
problem.
don't, because you build those decks.
Yeah, but it doesn't. No one cares about those. Those are just the things that let
No,
you
people
do the
do
things
care
that the
about
deck your
But
does.
the problem is if you feel like if you don't put that in your deck, then you're inadequate, essentially.
And
like
then-
you have to have those. If you're playing this color, you have to have these things.
And
or
to be
your
fair,
deck
I
won't
don't.
function.
I don't play a lot of the same cards in my decks. I don't play Ristic Study in every deck. I don't play.
Right,
Do you have a green deck that you don't play Nature's Lore in?
Of course
or
not.
Kodama's Reach.
Huh?
No.
That's the point.
Or
That's what we're
Cultivate.
talking about.
Right.
But so
3 visits.
Cultivate. Yeah, I have lots of decks without that in it. 3 visits. Some. Yeah.
I mean, but that's at least 3 to 5% of your deck minimum that they're all the same.
Yeah, my opinion is, but it could be because of the way I play. In the decks that I have those same things, they do very different things. The decks, so I get to have fun doing the thing. Those just help me get to do the thing.
Well, so if it is a complaint in your group, and I think this is a big complaint that most people have, not Jeff, but most people, they're tired of seeing the same decks over and over again.
If all your removal is the same, if all your board wipes are the same, if you don't ever play that different stuff, if all the major creatures are
Path
the
to
same,
Exile,
then
Swords and
that
Plowshare,
would be
Soul
annoying.
Ring, Arcane Signet.
Okay, do you have any white decks that don't have, well, you don't play Path in every deck, but do you have any white decks that don't have Swords to Plowshares? in it?
Yeah.
Really?
But just because I just don't have enough swords.
Right, right. So it's only yes because you don't have enough of that card. If card availability wasn't an issue, would you have it in every single white deck you run? What about Farewell?
Farewell probably not. But
Chroma's Will?
swords. No, not a Chroma's Will.
Teferi's Protection.
Teferi's
I would
Protection.
put, but that's my pet card. I put Teferi's Protection. I put
You would put it in a
Teferi's
deck that doesn't have
Directions
white
in
in it.
black decks. Like, just see if I can get away with it.
Right.
When we were
Teferi's Protection.
building one of the decks on,
Yeah.
on here, didn't he try to put
You
that in?
put it with like Jeff wrong colors, man. He's like, yeah, but I want it. It's like, okay, but that's great.
Yeah.
It's an illegal deck, though. Appreciate it.
But anyway, for a lot of people, this is an issue, and especially when you all agree like this is ridiculous. So just don't
Yeah.
decide.
Agreed.
Just decide in your meta. If your meta all agrees this is a problem, don't do it.
Yeah.
You make your own ban list.
If you stick to themes in your decks, a lot of times you're not going to play these type of cards because you're like, I'm not going to play Ristic Study because there's a card draw engine in my deck that fits with my theme.
Yep.
So it probably works better than Ristic Study in some cases.
The next one, game length extreme. Some games are over by turn 5 to 6, while others drag on forever due to constant board
This
wipes.
is a problem, yeah.
Don't play creature-centric decks all the time. If everybody at the table is all playing creature-centric decks, it's going to be an issue. If you have a good mix, it's not as big an issue.
I also wonder if we should start talking about how many board wipes. Like, it may be a valuable thing in the tier listing. Maybe there could be something on board wipes.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
I'm telling you
not
right
a bad
now,
idea.
it does get annoying when you're like, good grief, we're just going to keep starting this game over.
I have a buddy that we play with, and if you do 3 board wipes, he scoops.
Oh, that would be great. That's like you win the game with 3 board
that's
wipes.
That's what we talked about that night when
Yeah.
you told me that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you play non-creature heavy decks, who cares?
Yeah. Great way to get around this. Play vehicles, baby.
Except
They're
for
not
board
creatures.
wipes, guys. Board wipes are not just creatures. There are board wipes that get rid of
there's
artifacts.
there's all
enchantments.
non-land
And like Cyclonic Rift gets rid of everything.
Yeah.
But
At least it's in your hand. you can
Farewell,
play
which
it.
we just talked about a minute ago.
Yeah, Farewell exiles everything.
you can also build decks that are okay. So our friend Swanee, his dragon deck that makes treasures when creatures will haste, his deck recovers like that
right.
from a board wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
Also, don't play all the cards over your hand.
Yep, that's true too.
But it doesn't change the game taking a long time,
Yeah.
guys. That's the. Yeah,
Well,
he can recover, and then we're just still playing.
yeah, but Swanee's deck does because he can get everything back out and it all has haste. Now
and he
he's still
starts hitting
attacking, and you
people
guys
and no
don't
one
have
has
blockers.
blockers, and you're just getting punched in the face.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the opposite of play less creatures. That's play more creatures.
Right, I'm saying
Play more creatures with haste.
Yeah, I mean the thing is if you're sitting down at a pod and you're going to play a game and you're like, there's 3 other creature tribal decks sitting down at this table, and I'm also going to bring a creature tribal deck. You need to be ready for board wipes because that is going to probably be a theme through everyone's deck. Is that they're going to board wipe so their creatures can try to get through. Just know that ahead of time. So yeah, like Duncan said, if you have other decks that maybe aren't creature heavy, maybe go that way.
The other good advice here is please attack. So many times I see people, they're like, well, my deck isn't really an attack deck. Who cares? Someone else's deck might. If you have a creature that's just sitting there, attack someone. Use the attack step. It exists. Attack them. Deal them damage. It will end the game quicker.
Even if your commander does 1 damage,
Yeah.
that's a 21 turn timer.
Yeah. No, because that 1 damage could matter on someone else's turn. Just
Right.
attack people. That's
But
what the game
the
is
other
there
thing
for.
I've seen on some of the people that complain about this, they'll have something where they build up this board of creatures, right? And they have this, and that's when they somebody board wipes, and they didn't attack at all.
Yeah.
Right, when they
100%.
had the stuff out.
Yeah,
Right.
makes no sense.
Don't
Right.
wait till you have mass quantities and then attack. If you have 2 or 3, attack.
Yes.
Use
attack.
them.
Use
because
the stuff.
somebody could board wipe, and now you have wasted all those turns and all that mana.
Yeah, all that build up for nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rules confusion is the next one. Nuanced
yeah.
rulings like Commander Ninjutsu, copying spells, state-based actions frustrate new players. I don't blame this one at all on Wizards. I blame this on the people around those new players. The veterans should be teaching them, helping them.
Yeah. Be a better veteran player.
Yep.
And don't make them feel stupid.
No.
Yeah.
Another thing on this is I was joking with someone yesterday, and we were talking about how I build my decks, and I said, I build my decks so that I look like an idiot all the time. And that's because I like to build decks that synergize heavily,
Right.
so I end up having like so many triggers at any given moment that it's highly unlikely I'm not going to miss a trigger or miss a step or miss a thing. So no matter what I'm doing in my decks, I'm always missing something. So I just build decks to make myself look like an idiot. In this case, I could build less confusing decks. So if you want to be bothered by this less, don't use those cards with the confusing rules.
Right. Don't, as the veteran, don't play the confusing one against the new player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's something that I try to, when I sit down with someone that's a newer player, I try to say, hey, just so you know, all this deck is doing is, for example, I built a vehicles deck. And part of the reason why I did this was because I wanted to have a lower tier deck that wasn't like a crazy strong deck, because most of my decks are 3 or bigger. So this one's, I would say, on a low end of a 3, kind of closer maybe to a 2, because I don't think I have any game changers in there, but that's a whole other discussion that we'll get to later. But I basically tell people, like, hey, all I'm doing is I'm casting vehicles, and I'm going to crew them and attack people. That's the whole, literally, that's the whole theme of the deck.
And let's remember, too, all abilities can be described as kicker.
Yes, everything's kicker.
Yeah.
If
Ninjutsu is not casting kicker.
yeah,
You get to kick it, and you're not casting it, but it comes out.
right, exactly. Like, so if that's
What about Supermorph?
kicker,
Megamorph.
Kicker.
Was it Supermorph or
Megamorph? Megamorph.
They're both dumb.
They're kicker.
They're kickers.
Everything's kicker. In Magic, everything is kicker. And I know it's a funny video that Tolarian College did, but it honestly, it might be the best rules video you'll ever watch, is everything's kicker. Buyback.
If
kicker.
something's morphed, you pay a 2 kicker to flip it.
Yep, it's a kicker. Everything's kicker. So, Sloan's solutions for this section 2, real quick, I'll hit. Stop trying to make game-breaking cards, Magic. I don't care about power creep. Stop making VVs left and right. We don't need more VVs. You can make cards that are stronger. Don't listen to him. He's a bad person. He likes blue. And then the other thing is, stop making much better versions of cards that are already great. Gaia's Cradle, we don't need 3 more of them. We got Gaia's Cradle.
Yes,
then
we
you
do.
made
No,
another
we do,
one.
because you can't. Guy's Cradle's $800 or $900.
Yeah, it's true. No one can afford Gaia's Cradle. But my point is like, don't make a version of a card, like, don't make a better version of a card that's already a great card. Please stop doing that. It's very.
Don't make one that says tap for 2 mana for each creature you
Yeah,
control.
yeah.
But to be fair, if they don't do that, why would I buy new cards?
No, again, you can counter
Yes.
creep. You can make cards, like, you can make good cards and make cards that are stronger, but you're taking a card that's already great. It's like making another Risk 6 study.
Oh,
You
I
don't
see.
need
You're
it.
making too powerful.
Yeah, like, I don't need another Risk 6 study to deal with. Like, stop. Like, calm down. We have Risk 6 study. Don't listen to him again. All right, section 3.
Casual versus competitive divide. Casual pods feel pushed by CEDH speed, while competitive players feel villainized.
And this is the community and cultural side of the
Yep.
game
Yep.
that we're talking about now.
So the first thing I would say, don't give in to tier pressure. Like that?
Well done.
Yeah. Don't feel like you have to. Don't feel like, why? They're CEDH for a reason. The problem is that 4 tier, if you're using the tier system, right?
Right.
That's where the muddying comes. That's
Yes.
where it starts to get pushed.
4 to 5 is an issue.
You're right. Because if you're
We all know
playing
it.
4, it's just a little nudge into just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a 3 playing a 4, it's like, well, I have to compete. Don't do that. This is why they're trying to make the bracket system
Right.
work. this exact reason.
I will say that I do feel this. I feel like people look as though competitive players are just horrible human beings that hate Magic, and it's like, guys,
And they all are just trying to pub stomp on the little guys.
That's not true. And this goes the other way. If you're a competitive Magic player for Commander, don't call them filthy casuals. Stop it. That's not nice either. You're not better than them because your deck costs $5,000. That's not why you're better than them. You're not better than anybody. If you think that, then you're probably the issue. But I do think there is a little bit of a villainization of competitive players, just like there is a little bit of down talk of casual players. Oh, you're just a filthy casual. You don't understand how the game actually is supposed to work. Stop, guys. We are all playing Magic. If you have your group of competitive people you want to play with, go play with them. But what I will say is, to Duncan's point, don't act like your competitive deck is a casual deck and sit down at a table of guys who are playing a hat deck, a dinosaur deck, and a Land Before Time deck with cards that have the third word starting with J in all of them. Like, you're just mean at that point. You're doing something that's unnecessary. You don't need to prove a point. We know you have a competitive deck. You're playing a competitive commander. You told us your cards are double sleeved 16 times, Gary. You told us that you've spent $17,000 on this deck, Gary. Like, we get it. You have an expensive deck. Like, you're cool.
Just because Miley Cyrus came out and said, if you find a guy who likes to play Magic, he's a keeper, doesn't mean all of a sudden we're not a bunch of nerds sitting around playing a card game. Keep it in perspective. We're not that great. We're not that special.
Right.
If you're casual, great. If you're competitive, great. Just play the game how you want to play the game and find other people who want to play that way with you.
Yeah.
And don't trick people. If you're a competitive player, tell people this is a competitive deck, but don't show up and be like, it's okay.
Yeah, and in turn 3, you have 7,000 mana out, and you're doing 1,500 damage to every player.
As a casual, don't feel like you have to keep up with a competitive player.
No.
Like, just be like, my deck isn't there. I want to play with someone else. It's like, it's fine.
And if you're having this issue, right, if the power struggle is real and there's an arms race going on, not everybody likes the brackets, right?
Yeah, sure.
That's fine. But look at the brackets if you're having this issue. Pay attention to the game changers. Initiate that, because game changers do make a big difference.
They do.
But it's not just that. Read the whole article.
Yes.
And take it to heart, because it really does help you. It's not perfect, but it does help you stop this. When I was living this exact life, all of my decks were getting Mana Crypt and Mana Vault and Chrome Mox.
Yeah, we know.
And once they banned Mana Crypt, and once they came out with the system, and I really started looking at stuff, most of my decks I'm building now, at most I'll make it a 3 and put 3 game changers in, or attempt to make a 3. Sometimes they're more powerful.
Right.
But many of them I build with no game changers, just to challenge myself. But don't go into it trying to break it.
Right.
You will. If you want to break it, you will.
I mean, we'll jump over, because we're talking about, we'll jump over what is B on here and jump to the bracket/rule 0 problem. Here is the problem I hear currently with the brackets, which it says no consistent way to balance pods, leading to mismatched games and feel bads. Here is the issue with the bracket system currently, and I hear this so much, I borderline am going to yell at the next person right here say this. If I hear one more person say, oh, my deck can't be a 3, I have no game changers, I'm going to throat punch you. That is not the only thing that makes your deck
This is not able to be used in a court of law.
I'm not gonna. I won't. Here's the problem. This is the issue with the way people are looking at the bracket system. That is not the only thing that makes your deck a 3. It is one of the things that makes your deck a bracket 3.
And I've had 2 players at our shop that are friends of mine in the meta I play in, who both, hey, I got no game changers, I got no infinite extra turns, I've got no chained extra turns, I've got no this, no that, so this is a 2.
Got to be a 2.
It's good too. But they deliberately tried to break it. And it says in the article, if you do that, you are going to. It is not hard to break.
Right, and that's my point. Just because the quick, I guess the Cliff Note version of the bracket system says, hey, if you have up to 3 game changers, you're a bracket 3 minimum, nothing less than that. And then a couple other bullet points. And you say, well, I don't hit any of these bullet points, so therefore there's no way this can be a 3. That's not again, that's not how it works. It's the intent of the build of the deck, which I know is a very vague thing to say, but the easiest way I can explain this is I had somebody that said, I built an Edgar Markov deck. It is a 2. No, it is not. It is Edgar Markov. That cannot be a 2.
Are there no vampires in your
does
deck?
it have vampires?
Architect said it's a 2. Moxfield said it's a 2. When I punched in all the cards, it says it's a 2. I don't care what they say. They are using a very, very, very rudimentary system to determine what your deck level is. You built Edgar Markov. It can't be less than a 3. It is a high synergy deck that does everything it wants to as long as you have vampires. The only way that's a 2 is if you put no vampires in it or 1 vampire, because it is gross. That is the point of the bracket system, is that it is a loose system that is to help guide you and say, if you do these things, you should hopefully land here.
My thought on that is really simple. The bracket is not the problem. It's the person that's the problem. I don't need to say more than that. Grow up.
Well, the other point I would point to
simple.
all of this, conversations about your deck,
Yeah.
that's the best way.
Yeah.
The problem is, nerds don't, they're kind of socially awkward.
No.
Many of them have the tism. So,
They got the tism just passed right by them. It grazed them.
yeah. So they don't communicate real well. That's
Right.
why they had to come up with the bracket system. But if you openly communicate, ask the right questions, you can get there. How much value is in your deck? What's the dollar value of your deck? If they say $2,000, it's not a 2.
Yeah.
It's not a 2.
You'll be hard pressed to find a 2 unless they have the most super special art version of every card known to man.
I think they may have to put a dollar value on the tiers, but just like saying that you had the base version, not the version you have in your deck, but if you had the cheapest version of that.
I mean, maybe my point would be is they just need to keep defining the terms. Remember, this is still in the beginning stages.
We're getting an update
existence.
sometime.
This is not a problem for normal people.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it comes down
This
to
is a small group of people that need to just really chill out, and they just want to be, what's the word?
Jerks?
They just want to disagree with stuff. They just want to be the other side.
Yeah.
And it's
they want to be
advocate.
contrary.
Yeah, contrarians.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
But going back to
the other
12.
point.
So budget commander issues, rising prices, and power creep make it harder to keep up with budget decks. Like they're just not saying budget decks aren't keeping up. There's several ways to handle this. One of them being set a dollar limit for your decks in your group.
Yeah, that's one way. The
I'm
other,
not sure if this is even true, because if you build a budget deck right, you're really focusing on every single card, which a lot of times when you're not building a budget deck, you're like, this card's cool, I want to put it in. When you build budget, you're really maximizing everything, and they tend to run really well.
Those bench cards I talked about are going to also help you keep within budget.
Well, and the other thing is, too, is what I'll say is that a lot of times that whenever someone's building a deck, sometimes they don't venture off from the pre-constructed lists that they find online, which are always going to have the token cards in them. If you want to be able to build more budget friendly, you're going to have to do your own research. You're going to have to look up cards yourself and not be able to rely on other people's decks, because a lot of times they're not going to find the more niche cards because they may not put the research in either, or they're just most of the deck lists out there are always going to have the token cards. So
or write into us and we'll do a budget commander.
Yeah, if you have a deck that's a budget deck and you're like, I can't keep up, send it to us. We'll help you.
Yep.
Yeah. Be more than happy to show you some updates that are.
And if you're like, I don't even want it on the air, we'll still help you.
Yeah. But on the air, it could be a good, really good. Words are hard.
Yes, they are. Last one here, this is an interesting one. Toxic play style.
Toxic play style.
Yes.
So everybody has their own thing that they think is toxic. I think chaining extra turns is toxic.
Yes.
You know, some people feel like Stacks is, Group Slug, Chaos decks.
Yes.
They're fun for some, misery for others.
Yes.
Again, this goes back to you need to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Also, there's levels of this stuff. So, like, you're like, okay, I'm an extra turns deck. I have extra turns in here, but you have 3. Okay. I have some stacks, or it's all stacks, or I don't understand the group slug.
When you sit
that just
down,
seems like a regular way to play Magic. But Chaos, yeah, okay, I have a chaos deck. It does some chaos things. Or, oh no, every time you play a card, you're going to put the card in this pile. You're going to get another card from the top of your deck, which you have to give to someone else, and they have to give you one of your cards, which will go into this pile over here. And then, like, that's just.
He'll never let that go.
I don't know why he was
play that
complaining. That worked out great for
Yeah,
him.
he ended up winning because of it.
How long was that
Dude,
turn?
that turn was
that
like
a
an
2-hour
hour.
turn?
Yeah, it was
That was like
ridiculous.
that turn was almost as long as that super long Jodsy game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to come down to communication. Say when you sit down with new people, hey, just so you guys know, I really don't like playing against stacks. Like if you have a little bit, that's fine. Like Ristic Study, Smothering Tide, that's fine. But a stacks deck, I'm really not interested in playing against that. I hope you don't mind. But if you're gonna play that, I don't know what you're gonna play. But if you're gonna play that, I think I should.
I just drew the line at playing against two of them at the same time.
I thought that was great, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things I would say here too is that sometimes people are like, you know, hey, I just built this deck, I really want to try. So what you can do is you can say, hey, listen, we'll let you play it for this first game, but then could you maybe switch to a different deck after? We don't want to keep playing against it. That's also a good alternative too. Like you said, obviously communication.
You could also
gonna
say,
help.
have you ever heard of gold fishing? I'm going to let you do that over there, and we're all going to actually play Magic over here.
I mean, and the problem
Because
with
we like to actually play our cards.
the problem with that is
Crazy.
that unfortunately gold fishing can only do so much for you.
Right.
No.
But
I'm
yeah.
just kidding. I would let them play.
Yeah.
any
So,
of
but
these
I mean,
decks.
that's another way too. You can say, hey, listen, I just built it. I know it's this. It's kind of like this. It's this theme. I know a lot of people don't like it, but if I could try it out, I'd really appreciate it. You know, go for it. The big solution here is just define brackets better, please, Wizard. I know it's been a year now, so we'd love to hear an update like you promised us. So I'm waiting for that.
I
That's
have
my
a feeling it got pushed back to November, just like the bans and restricted lists for all the.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
So the next section is meta concerns. This one should be a lot quicker. Universes Beyond Identity Crisis. So this is people not really liking the fit of like Marvel or Final Fantasy or some of these decks, Warhammer within Magic the Gathering because
Sure.
it's not. Don't put them in your decks.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing. If you don't like it, just don't buy it.
Yep.
And if you say, well, the card's really good and I need them, okay, well, you need to either get over it or get over it.
Yeah.
That's your two options. Like,
Or no, you can also proxy them and put your own art.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you could do that too if you wanted to. And if you wanted to, what you could do is you could buy the card and put it in a binder and say, hey, listen, here's the real card. I don't like that art. I don't like the fact that there's Spider-Man on it, so I just made my own
And-
version that's not Spider-Man.
And if you're upset because, like, well, I don't want to see it across the table from me, then here's what you do. This is really good advice. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to sell your house wherever it is. You're going to move into a deed-restricted community, part of an HOA. You're going to join the board and get your kicks off telling other people what to do in that and leave us alone playing Magic. Like, because you don't need to tell me what to do on the other side of the table. If you have a preference, you do it. I'm going to do what I
Yeah,
want.
you got to let people be them, and they're going to let
But
you be
if you want to tell other people what to do, that's what HOAs are for.
Too many mechanics. I know I complain about this.
Yep.
Overloaded rules, text, and keyword soup makes the game harder for casual players to jump into.
For sure. I've complained about this a bunch of times.
Yeah, this is kind of going back to the rules confusion in Section B. I feel like this is kind of tied into that. So part of the issue is with all the new mechanics coming out, there's new rules and then rules changes that existed, so then you have to figure out what those are. And then
For instance, Manifest Dread versus what was the one right before that? In Thunder Junction, they had something new. Disguise versus Manifest Dread versus Manifest. They're all basically kicker. No, they're all basically
Everything's kicker, bro.
the same, but
Yeah.
they have slight nuances that are different. I mean, here's the thing. If you play a card, you need to be able to explain the card. If you can't explain it, don't put it in your deck. And if somebody plays it against you, ask them to explain it because they should be following that same logic.
Yeah.
If everybody doesn't put cards in their deck that they can't adequately explain or point to the rules so somebody can read it, you shouldn't have a problem with this. I agree it is too much. I think they need to stop
yes,
putting new rules into every set.
I think the solution is every single person, you're going to have to print out the extra rules from the Gatherer for every card you own because the card doesn't explain the card. You're going to print it very, very, very small. Fold it up, little tiny thing, and put it in every card sleeve. And every time you play a card, you're going to take this out and like a scroll, a little mini scroll, and then read all the rules with the magnifying glass. Since it's a scroll, someone else will have to hold the magnifying glass, right? Johnny, help me.
No, just get a monocle, bro.
Oh, a monocle. That's the answer. Whoop, monocle, and you're good to go. So that's the answer for that one, guys.
You're being so helpful.
He woke up and chose violence, apparently. Yeah, I mean, I would say that
Words are not violence.
it's they again kind of back to the fatigue of sets. There is a fatigue of mechanics. They thank God there's I think 3 for Spider-Man. So they have pulled back the reins compared to 8 in Tarkir, I think it was they did. So luckily they had pulled back the reins, but hopefully they keep pulling back the reins. We don't need a bunch. We already know that there's 4 in Avatar. Yeah. The bendings.
Do they do it just so that the set seems cooler, like Manifest Dread? Like it seems
they want they want the rules to flux to meet the theme of the world or whatever the set.
Stupid.
Yeah, it seems
they need to get over it. You have plenty of stuff
that
you can call it something else, but it's still the same thing. Like you can say, okay, this is Manifest Dread, but really it's Manifest. But in this set, we're calling it Manifest Dread just to make it cooler. But it's the same thing. Just if you want to know this, look at that.
Yeah, stop doing it.
So then the last one is event accessibility. Big events like MagicCon feel expensive, hard to attend, and geared toward whales. I think that's fair.
I mean, crowded.
Well, the big thing is I don't know how many conventions you guys have been to. I've been to quite a few, especially because I was cosplaying for a little bit. They're always like that. They're meant to draw in people to spend a bunch of money. That's literally what they're there for. Those vendors are there because they want more showing for their shop or their art or their comic book or whatever it is they're trying to present. That is what they are there for.
So I have a way to fix it.
Okay. That's what we're trying to do.
I already know what the answer is.
Yep.
What's the answer?
Sell less tickets.
No. The answer is that you can create micro events, so pop-ups. So if you have a friend has a house, or there's a local business, or a coffee shop, or a restaurant that's maybe needs a little bit of business, find out where these places are, create a pop-up event, puts an ad out there, invite some people, and you can create your own events for this. Because what do you really want to do if you're not a whale at one of these events? You just want to play with other people.
No.
So, whales are going and shopping for cards.
Right,
Most
but
of us just want to play.
So other people
want to dress up.
Yeah, people want to dress up and cosplay.
Great,
Some people want to go around and meet celebrities and artists, so they want to get signatures for stuff like that.
I can't help you with that. That's expensive.
Well, that's what. So hold on.
Have to pay
hold on. Yes, you can. I mean, we can help them with that, because I will tell you, if you go to your shop, say, "Hey, I want to put an event on here." You don't have to I just want you to be okay if we have this happen here. There are local magic artists.
Oh, that's true.
In
But
every
you're not
area.
going to get the big people, but you can get some of the smaller local ones. Yeah.
I mean, they're all magic artists. They all make cards.
No, but he means like the actors and actresses and stuff like that.
There's not really that in Magic.
Right.
But there is like getting artist proof, like Duncan to start doing. But like even just going up there and meeting them and getting them to sign a card usually costs anywhere from $5 to $50, depending on who it is and what you're getting them to do for you. But I mean, there's me personally, like I generally like walking around and checking all the different vendors and seeing who all's there, because like you'll get people that are from California, someone from New York, people from Georgia, people from Kentucky.
The vendor part of it, you're not going to be able to do, because you're going to want to have a local shop. I mean, if you really want to get into it, you can go to your local venue and do all that.
Sure.
But then you've got to talk about insurance and all that stuff. But I'm saying if just a smaller one, talk to your local shop, find out what artists are local, find out if they can attend, work to their schedule.
I mean,
but you can also, by the way, go to regional events. SCGCon is free to get in.
Yeah.
Command Fest is free. Command Fest is not free to get in, but it is more local and easier to get to.
Yeah.
But SCGCon is free to get in. Now, I don't like that they charge to get into the Command Zone. You have to pay for a whole weekend ticket.
Right.
They don't even have single day access.
Yeah.
So what? Go in there, talk to other players. Every single time there's going to be like a lobby outside or a coffee shop next door that people are playing in because they didn't get those tickets. But you can go walk around, talk to people, find like-minded people. You get the vendor experience, and then you can all find a few people and go find some place to play, or you wander around. You'll find them playing somewhere nearby.
Yep.
Yeah. Sloan solutions for this section I put down is I don't have a problem with universes beyond regular sets. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. Could care less. You don't need new mechanics. We have plenty of, like you said, we have plenty of old mechanics that we've never even gotten a reprint of. That is just so sad that I want to get reprints of. Detain's like my number one. I want Detain to be reprinted, please, on good cards. And then all conventions are for whales. That's literally what they're made for. it's literally what they're there for. You can absolutely buy a ticket and walk around for free, or go to the free ones and walk around to check out the vendors. You don't have to pay or buy anything from any vendors. There's cool stuff there, though, and there's, like Duncan, you can go buy tokens that are custom-made tokens and stuff that are not crazy expensive, but they're cool and they're niche. And so they have Star Wars. I know that there's a vendor I saw at MegaCon. It's not even a card one, just a convention in general, where they had a whole set of Star Wars-based tokens.
Yep.
So R2-D2, C-3PO, Wookiee was the Beast, Chewbacca was the Beast one.
But most places too do have local conventions. We have Siesta KeyCon or SiestaCon that happens every year that the comic book shop in Sarasota Darkside puts on.
Yep.
And there's
I know Tampa
Collector Con is this weekend.
Smaller, so it's not super expensive to get into.
Is that the one we went to, Tampa Con, Duncan?
Tampa Bay Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is also just around us. There was a Collector Con. Is something. It's a traveling con show, but it's more about collecting. But they're gonna have Magic stuff. They're gonna have TCG stuff. So you can look for those type of things too. But there are alternatives, and then when there isn't, you can organize your own little thing. Whatever the thing is you like about it, organize that. You can even just have dress up commander night. If you have a bunch of like-minded people, they're like, yeah, we'll do that. Talk to your shop, be like, hey, we're gonna come in costume. Is that cool? And they'll tell you if they have...
Especially with Halloween coming up, I'm sure they love that.
Yeah. So you can do things like that if that's what you like. The many vendors is the only thing you can't do there, So go to those local ones if you need that.
Okay.
Yep. Pro tips.
Pro tips. So I know this is going to sound weird, especially after the entire show of us pointing out all the flaws that we see in the game currently and the existence of different parts of the game. But something that I experienced recently... try to be the positive guy if you can. So what I mean by that is I went on a birthday trip with our buddy Swanee. We went all the way up to Vermont to play disc golf for the entire weekend, one of my other hobbies that I have. And I'm someone that if I'm not playing well, obviously you will see it because there is an aura of frustration just permeating out of me. So I told on the last day we were there, which was Sunday, we did a 4v4 match where it was 4 of us versus our other 4 buddies on a card. They had the pro player. We didn't. So we said, hey, we should get this advantage. They said, we'll agree to it. Because the pro player, obviously, he's a monster. So, and I told everybody, I said, you know what? My goal on Sunday, because I was fatigued, my knee was sore, my back was sore. I said, I'm going to be so positive that it's going to scare you guys. Like, that's my goal on Sunday. I'm just going to be super positive the entire round. And they said, we'll believe it when we see it because I'm me. So long story short, we had the best day. We only lost by 1 stroke to the pro team, which we were so mad. It was my fault. I told them and I apologized. But they, at the end of the day, they said, hey, Sloan, MVP today, because that was just the most fun round because you seemed like you were probably on something that you took that morning. The point being, it is contagious. If you are being the positive person and being happy, even though you might be getting a guy picked on because you have the strongest deck at the table, or you might be the guy that is not getting your land drops like you want to, being that positive guy in the pod just helps keep the pod up because it's very easy, especially in this game, for if one person starts being negative and pointing out things and telling somebody that their threat assessment is up a rectum, it's very easy for the rest of the table to feed off of that negative
I might have
energy.
been told that.
Right, maybe. So if you're able to be the positive guy despite what's going on at the table, at the end of the day, everyone's going to love that game, whether they won or lost, because they're like, you know what? That guy was just so happy the whole time. I couldn't be mad. I couldn't
just
be
so you
upset.
guys know, this isn't all scripted. Were you doing that yesterday?
I was trying my hardest.
Dude, can I just tell you? And Duncan can attest to this. Sometimes it's hard for me to want to play
Yeah.
Because you get salty, and I don't like it. Yesterday, I really enjoyed it. So can I just tell you, dude? Well done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're showing real growth.
Old Sloan was very intense with his game.
I mean,
just tell my bathroom door about it.
Yeah, and I will say internally I'm still pretty intense. I have this delusion that I'm still 22 years old and probably the greatest athlete on the planet Earth. It's a delusion I've always had, but my body
is 22.
I don't think just athlete. I think person.
I mean, I am a very heavily opinionated person, as I'm sure you guys know if you watched the episode 2 weeks ago. So I mean, I still have my own flaws. I still have my own times where I crumble and lose to the old self, as it were. But it is something I've been working on a very long time and trying to be a positive person and be somebody that everyone wants to play games with and be around. Because I do love this game and I love sharing it with people and I love being able to partake in this game with friends. And at the end of it, everyone, even though between Saturday and Sunday I won 0 games out of 6 games, I still had a great time. It was still super fun seeing my friends and seeing their fun decks and silly things that they do. So try to be that positive person. I know it's hard sometimes, especially when other people are being negative. You being silly and goofy and sometimes making yourself a little bit of a goober is all it takes to turn around the whole table and make everybody say, you know what, it is just a game. We're just here to have fun.
Lead by example.
Exactly. So just try to be the positive guy.
It's infectious.
Yep. But that's a great one, especially coming from you, who from when I first started playing to you to now, I can honestly say it's a big difference. Huge difference.
Calm down there. We don't need to use such.
No, I mean it's like no, you don't understand. No. But anyway, that's a really good one. But that's all the time we have for today. Sloan, where can they find us?
They can find us on youtube.com @ @CommandersPod. Like Duncan said, we upload pack openings when we can. We also do video podcasts as well. So if you're one of our audio-only listeners, just know you can see all of our beautiful faces and see what we look like and say, oh, that's not what I thought you looked like at all.
That guy's really old.
Yeah, that guy's really old.
You always do that too, don't you?
Yeah, you always that is not what I thought.
I thought that guy would look like that guy, and that guy would look like that guy.
Email us at cast@commanderspod.com. You can visit our website, commanderspod.com. You can visit us at patreon.com/commanderspod. We would really love your support as we keep trying to advance our podcast here and upgrade things. One of the things we're trying to upgrade as well is cameras, so we could try to record some games for you. We do want to try to put out high quality content, not something that you wouldn't want to watch, but something rather you want to share with people. So that is one of our goals we're trying to get to. So by you supporting us on Patreon, that's something you can definitely do. I do believe Duncan said he had something that he was going to send out for some of the Patreon people.
And I haven't heard from any of them yet, so I'm going to reach out to all of them this week.
Perfect.
And get their, I have a couple of their addresses, but I need the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, lastly, all the podcast websites that you can go to: Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and etc. to infinity and beyond. You can find us at.
Yep. And as always, play bold, swing wide, and don't forget to pay the one.
Commander's Pod, where the stories unfold, with heroes and villains, new and old. Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan guide the way in the world of EDH we play. So tune in, friends, let's fly and go. In the Commander's Pod, the love will show. From our decks and yours, we share the spark in the world of magic. We'll leave